Hello. I thought I might as well speak a little bit more about palmistry, not from any other point of view, but then just to make you understand yourself a little better so that you can plan ahead according to what natural talents you're born with and how much of it you're realizing. In my last video, I spoke about the arches, the loops, and arches, loops, and whorls on the fingertips. So, contrary to what we were filled up when we were little, when I say we, I want to speak specifically about myself. When I was little, I was told that whorls or chakra are good things to have, and shank are like too many shank, or loops would mean uh, you're a dud or you don't care much. But as I grew up and I understood things more, I found that there is it's everything is connected to evolution, everything is connected to your need. So a giraffe would have a long neck because from the point of view of evolution, um, it needed to have a long neck because it would you find them at places where trees are tall and the canopy is qu- there is no canopy actually there is in the desert region, but the leaves, whatever sparse leaves you have, are high up on trees, so it had to stick its neck up in order to chew the leaves. So this is exactly the case with everything. The way we look, the way we behave is actually the answer to our needs. That's how yeah, we were meant to be, to solve the problems or challenges or whatever activities that we needed to do, right? So yeah, so in my last video about palmistry, I spoke about that when the energy enters your palm, it travels through mounts, that's your palm, and then it reaches your fingers. So these are the karmendriya, where that's where your action is concentrated. You would ultimately take any action depending on how your fingertips are, your fingers are. And this is the palm is what you are born with. This is your horoscope. People who know how to connect horoscope and palms know that this particular portion, what we know as palm, it talks more about our emotional makeup, because the energy from our entire being enters in our palms depending on the mounts, the way they are developed, or they are underdeveloped, or they are semi developed, or they are in the process of development. Accordingly, energy is used up. Uh, our approach is formed, and then it travels to our fingers, and that's depending on the shape of the finger, the size of the finger, the phalanges size, the shape of the phalanges. Things can be predicted. Now let me jump into what I wanted to speak about today. And this is not one of the best looking illustration, but it's all those people who are looking for bits of knowledge, they'll find it okay. So what, the moment you meet anybody, you would see you would notice three things: whether their hand is small, big, or medium size. Now if somebody is really small in stature, it's natural that they would not have abnormally big hands like spades. But if they're but it's not definite either that large people would have large hands, small people would have small hands. There is a comparison that you can see. If their hands are relatively larger than their bodies, you would say that the person has large or big hands, and vice versa. So let's see things from the evolution point of view. So if somebody has small hands, obviously they haven't they're evolved to be so. They're evolved to have smaller hands because they're made to do they're made to do jobs that are not that don't require a lot of detailing. They don't, they are not outdoorsy person. They don't use their hand. They are not meant to use their hands so much as an outdoorsy person, or a person who's always trekking or doing farming or doing things of involves dexterity of hands. That's not what they are meant to do, or that's how they have been evolved. Maybe there's some change in their life and things change, but so far, according to genetics, the fate that they have brought shows that they are meant to do desk jobs. They are meant to do um, quick, spontaneous things, more intuitive things, um, than people who have large hands, who are meant to use their hands. These people, they are they go get into details, like surgeons are often seen to have long hands, long fingers, big hands, but aesthetic hands, long fingers, detail oriented, medium sized hands, perfect balance, so practical wisdom. So this is the first thing you notice, whether they have a big hand. Okay, so they are into action involving their hands. Okay. um, they'll be dexterous. These people with small hands, they'll be doing desk job. They won't be going around uh, lifting things and tying things and whatever. And then the medium hand, as I spoke about. Then size of the palm. So this is the palm, as we all know. It could be squarish. Squarish means length and width appearing to be same. There, or it could be rectangular, or it could be rectangular with long fingers or short fingers. That's the reason why I have repeated rectangular, rectangular. And this is your oval hand, some egg shaped almost. So this is your earth hand, practical. Uh, you see what you get, what you see, no nonsense people. They have this squarish hand. Why am I saying what I'm saying is because palm talks about our emotional makeup, and fingers is the approach we take towards taking action. So people with earth hands, we came on earth not to spend time on in a resort, but to do some work, to create things. So they are perfectly earthly beings, one with square hands, um, and almost same sized fingers. They're earth hands. Then people who have rectangular hands, this is their emotion is rectangular hands. They're emotional people because they have big hands, big palms, but their nails, fingers are relatively shorter. In this case, the earth hand, they were equal in size or length, and here the fingers are shorter, which means they are more impulsive. They take actions or make decisions based on their intuitive impulses. And then you have your air hands, which is rectangular in shape, but the only difference they have with the fire hand, because the second one that I just spoke about was a fire hand, they are good at leadership. Uh, they're good at they're good at leadership, yes. So they're good at leadership. And here, people with air hands, they have a rectangular palm, which means they're the energy that enters their hand spends relatively longer time in their hands because it's traveling all the distance, not like earth hands where length and width are same, so there is quick expansion of energy. in equal dimensions. Here it is longer, so there is a lot of emotional stuff going on, but at the same time these are the people who also have long fingers, so which means they not just weigh things on an emotional basis but also on a mental basis. They keep analyzing things. So this is the air hand for you. Then you have your oval hand, which is water hand. Water hand is more ovalish, and they don't they and then they have uh, sort of conical fingers, or yeah, smooth fingers. And here people, you could say that earth hands, what would they be good at career wise? They could be good at almost everything that requires details, that requires dexterous approach to things, that requires practical approach to things, not much emotions. Fire hands, long palm, shorter fingers, these are the people who are good at, they work from their gut, they're intuitive, so they're good at leadership qualities, they have a knack of understanding pulse of the people. So yeah, starting new things, they are fire starters. And then they are good at understanding people. They have a very chilled out attitude. It's not that they're imposing or anything. So that's fire hand for you. Air hands, they're very good at coordination. They're good at analyzing things. They're great teachers. They're great uh, CAs, as in chartered accountants, and anything that requires a lot of analysis. Researchers. Here you have water hands. Water hands is everything so oval, nothing is too angular. Therefore, they're good at healing people. Why? There are no angles, nothing is too pointed. So they're good at counseling, they're good at art, they're good at flexibility, because water is so damn flexible. It can take shape of any thing that holds it. So they're very flexible. They are good at art, because art is all about flowiness. It's not pointed or angular. They are good at counseling, because emotions is equal to water, water is equal to emotions, so they understand emotions. So by and large, you know what I'm trying to say. Then the tips, the fingertips, we'll speak about it in a minute. After that, size of the fingers. They could be small size, they could be big size, or they could be medium size. These are the fingers, you know it, and it has three phalanges or phalanx or divisions. So the first one is the mutable one. The one that is at the base is the mutable one. Um, that's where energy filtrations takes place. The middle one is when you're strategizing, making plans. The uppermost phalange is taking action. So if your upper phalange is less in size, you have problem in taking action, something stops you. If the middle phalanx is smaller, you're not able to strategize things well. If your lowermost or basal phalange is smaller, you are stuck in day-to-day activities. So basically, you know what I'm trying to say. And what kind of activities am I talking about? So this is this finger, which is your finger of of Jupiter. This finger is the one of leadership. This is balance, because whole hand is divided into 5 fingers. This is the middle finger, and on the on one side of the middle finger is our thumb and index finger, and on the other side is the ring and the pinky finger or the little finger. So this is the balance. This is all about work, thumb and index, and this is all about how you project yourself. So if you see some tilt in your middle finger, that is the tilt of yours towards that aspect of life. So if your ring finger, sorry, if your middle finger is tilting or leaning towards your little finger and ring finger, your balance is not perfect. It is more towards how people view you. and materialism, which is the little one. And I'm not, this is, okay, disclaimer, this is not the last word. This is out of experience, I'm saying. This is out of observation, I'm saying. Have your own interpretations. I'm just sharing my own observation and experience so that you can know yourself better if you don't have time to research on your own. So this is what it is, okay? uh, yeah. So if you have a lot of knots, knots as in Hindi we say gaunthein, or knots, knots, right? On the phalanges, that's where the energy gets stuck and you analyze things too much. So there are two places where your finger has phalanges. The upper phalange, if you have too much of bulge or naughty, as in knotty, not naughty as in mischievous, upper phalange, it means you're stuck. You can strategize well, and you can handle your day-to-day activity well, but you're not able to take action. So that's the energy gets stuck there. If you have the middle phalange is not naughty or bulbous or irregular, the energy gets stuck there. That is day-to-day activity is fine, but when it comes to strategizing about a certain aspect of your life, planning for certain aspect of your life, you get stuck. So just check out if you have small fingers. Obviously, as I spoke here, you are not, you are impulsive. You're not, your action is not well thought over. If you have long fingers, then you think about things quite a bit, as in weigh things as in quite a bit. Medium, again, practical, balanced people. You have smooth fingers, that is no knots, no bulbs. You don't get stuck. You so know where you're going. And naughty, the energy gets stuck. So when you see people with lots of knots and irregular hands, you know, not hands, fingers, you know that they think quite a bit. They get stuck at various different places. But it's good in some time, in some of the fields, because you don't need to be impulsive in certain aspects of your life. So this is done now. The fingertips, right? Can you not a very good illustration, but it can communicate what I want to talk to you about. So if the fingertips is like your fingers, your uppermost phalange is squarish, again you've got a practical approach towards life. If it is to like a fan or a spatula, what does a spatula do in a chemist's place, or any place where you use a spatula? It takes something, right? So there's such people with triangular, like a fan shaped hand, upper phalange or nail. They like to hoard experiences. They are adventurous. They are hardworking, because as it is, they don't have a most beautiful hand in the world to take care of. So they get into, they're more focused about, they're more focused about uh, you know collecting and treasuring adventures and experiences and observations and knowledge and so on. So that's them. And then you have your, see, this is tapered, all these three. So the most beautiful is the your conic hand, like a cone. See, cone. But these people, if their hands are too, if their hands are too padded, or their mounts are well developed, they're more about just enjoying arts and beauty and less about actually putting work to realize their artistic temperament, which they have. So conic hands are the best looking hands. I've seen my I've seen certain people have conic hands, and they look uh, good. Such hands. My nephew has it. Uh, anyway, so if you have an artistic temperament, no doubt, but you got to realize your temperament by actually putting in hard work, which unfortunately doesn't happen all the time with conic hands. They get way too laid back and enjoy stuff rather than working hard. And then you have your philosophical hand, which is exactly like conic hand, but their phalanges are naughty, they're rough, it is rougher in comparison. So these are the people who really like to study, learn new things, and conceptualize theories. And then you have your psychic hands, which is like the most beautiful almond shaped one. They are not, they're full of love and humanity, but they are not great at managing things because mostly it is seen that they are frail physically and they're not able to earn much money. But if somebody is ready to support them, they can really be, uh, they're really humane people, nice people to be around. Then what am I speaking about? What am I speaking about? Yeah, just a moment. Then you have always see what kind of hand you have: earth, fire, air, water, uh, philosophical, spatula, conic, psychic, elementary, whatever hand, and then see it in conjunction with your headline, which is the central line. So if it is straight, you have quite a linear view towards life, you're level headed, and it may turn like towards Mount of Luna, but then if it is straight, you are level headed still. So uh, you may be attracted or feel gravitated towards imaginary artistic stuff like Mount of Luna, but whatever it depicts. But you're not all over the place. You know where you're going, and your actions are well uh, thought of. If you have this curvula uh, headline, then of course you are more sensitive towards things. If it is forked, you weigh your um, thoughts, actions, and ideas on various different uh, bases and with come out with a perfect decision. But just if you have such a hand, but your fingers are full of knots and bulbs, then you may just keep thinking and get lost in your thoughts, and your ideas may never take off. Finally, when you're talking about your career, there's something called fate line. Fate line is the line that starts from your wrist and enters the zone of Mount of Saturn, which is below your middle finger. Most of the people, we don't have it. That doesn't mean we don't have luck. That just means we're going to be very hard working, because there are certain things which are the stroke of luck is not completely there all the time. So yeah, so just see where it is beginning from. If it is completely absent, you got to work hard. If it's starting from Mount of Luna, so maybe there is something coming from your mother's side, some luck, or from foreign land, whatever Mount of Luna depicts. And if it is coming from the mount of mm, this mount of Venus, as it is mostly known, uh, but I have spoken about in my last video that you could see it as Mount of Apollo. Anyways, for now, Mount of Venus. If something is coming from that side, so some money coming from your father's side, because this particular portion is sun, this particular portion is moon. That is this portion. This portion is moon. This is sun. Okay, this is sun. This is moon. So moon is mom. Sun is father, your dad. So if it is coming from inside your lifeline, then you get you some money or support or luck from your father's side, or family side. And if it's starting from headline and it's not there initially, but starting from headline, so you would You may be knowing the timeline of headline is 35 to 40 years, so your luck starts from that particular portion, like when you're 40, 45, and then when it starts from your heart line, then it starts even later, but then you have a good end phase of your life, however long you may live. I mean, let's not even get there. That's not what I'm talking about. And your luck comes with something that your heart goes with. So you're doing something, you're following your passion with headline, you're following your into mental activities. If it's starting from you can just make you can deduce. It's very easy to deduce where is it starting from. Is it too it's If it is too much broken, the luck is always not always with you, but then it just comes and appears and disappears, and there are stresses. Yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. So you can know what you are like, and then accordingly choose your vocation. Yeah. All right, bye.